Great architecture is not just technically sound, it is decision-ready. In this section, we'll turn blockchain, token, settlement, custody, compliance, security, and deployment choices into a clear executive package for funding, governance, implementation, and risk acceptance. At this point, we've moved from market context and architecture through settlement, custody, compliance, security, integration, and production readiness. Now the task is to bring those decisions together, so approving stakeholders can evaluate one coherent enterprise platform. In digital asset platforms, architecture is not a search for the perfect design. It is a defensible choice among competing tensions: compliance, security, scalability, cost, privacy, liquidity, operations, and user experience. Use a consistent decision pattern whenever architecture choices affect regulated digital assets. Start by framing the scope. What is being decided, the constraints, assumptions, and stakeholders. Next, define weighted criteria such as regulatory fit, interoperability, cost, security, resilience, and delivery complexity. Compare viable options, select the strongest one, and explain why alternatives were not chosen. Then capture the rationale, dependencies, residual risks, and follow-up actions in decision records, governance checkpoints, and approval materials. Network choice is a strategic control decision, not just a technology preference. Public chains can maximize access, liquidity, and composability, but they require stronger privacy and compliance design. Permission networks give issuers more control over participants, data, and governance, often with less market reach. Consortiums share responsibility across institutions. Hybrid split functions, such as controlled issuance with public settlement or verification, which adds flexibility but also integration complexity. Choosing between ERC 1400 and ERC 3643 is really choosing where compliance lies. ERC 1400 fits security token architectures that need partitions, issuance controls, transfer validation, and document links built around the token. ERC 3643 leans toward permission markets, where identity registries and modular compliance checks drive transfer eligibility. The right answer depends on jurisdiction, registry model, venue requirements, wallet support, and how clearly legal restrictions can be audited on-chain. Settlement rails determine how quickly cash and assets actually change hands. Stablecoins can support near real-time, programmable delivery versus payment, reducing timing gaps when the token and payment move atomically. Fiat rails fit existing banks, legal agreements, and treasury workflows, but may add cutoffs, reconciliation, and settlement risk. Many issuers use a hybrid: fiat for subscriptions and redemptions, with stablecoins or deposit tokens supporting on-chain settlement where regulation and liquidity allow. Custody is ultimately a control model. Custodial wallets help institutions enforce approvals, recover access, monitor activity, and support users, but they also concentrate key risk. Non-custodial wallets maximize user control, while recovery, compliance, and enterprise governance become harder. Hybrid designs, such as MPC, multi-sig, smart contract wallets, or HSM-backed custody, aim to split control while preserving auditability, segregation of duties, and incident response. Compliance can live in code, in enterprise systems, or across both. On-chain rules make transfers enforceable and auditable, but they can expose data and are harder to change. Off-chain engines protect sensitive identity checks and adapt quickly, but enforcement depends on trusted integrations. Most regulated token platforms use a hybrid model: on-chain allow lists or proofs, backed by off-chain KYC, sanction screening, eligibility decisions, reporting, and exception handling. Treat vendor selection as an evidence package, not a preference debate. For each platform, custody, compliance, infrastructure, and tooling choice apply the same criteria: functional fit, regulatory alignment, security, integration effort, operating model, cost, and roadmap maturity. Capture dependencies as well, including supported chains, API quality, jurisdiction coverage, SLAs, and data residency. The decision is complete only when residual risks are explicit, such as lock-in, outages, regulatory change, security incidents, and concentration risk. Once the blockchain choice is made, the next architecture question is the operating model. Who runs nodes, how deployments happen, how keys are protected, and how incidents are detected all shape production risk. A managed provider may speed delivery, while self-hosting or consortium nodes may improve control. Link infrastructure decisions to uptime, throughput, recovery, cost, and compliance. Treat tooling as architecture, not an afterthought, because it determines whether the system can be changed and supported safely. After controls are applied, the question is not, is risk gone? It is, what risk remains and who is allowed to live with it? Residual risk analysis connects each exposure to specific controls, then assigns a rating, owner, action plan, and target date. Some risks are mitigated further, transferred, accepted, or avoided. When exposure exceeds tolerance, acceptance must be explicit, documented, and approved by the right executive authority, not assumed by the project team. An executive architecture summary bridges technical design and leadership action. It connects business value, target architecture, risk controls, compliance, cost, and delivery sequencing. The purpose is straightforward. Give leaders enough clarity to approve, challenge, fund, or govern the initiative with confidence. By the end, architecture work has to become an approval-ready story. Gather the artifacts, normalize the decisions, and connect each choice back to requirements, risks, controls, and delivery milestones. Shape the material for each audience. Executives need the case for action, while compliance, security, engineering, operations, procurement, and audit need the supporting evidence. The package should also name unresolved decisions, governance cadence, approval workflow, and the criteria for moving safely into build or launch. Your decision package should now make architecture trade-offs explicit, justify vendors with clear criteria, and connect technology choices to business value, risk, regulation, security, operations, and roadmap. In the capstone, you'll assemble these pieces into a complete enterprise digital asset issuance platform and defend it with confidence.